Western Stars, which is Bruce Springsteen co-directing with Tom Zimney, which is essentially a performance of the album, which you are familiar with because
like
you're
the album,
a big
yes.
Bruce fan. Recorded in his barn, his old barn, which he loves his old barn. It's not a barn like the kind of barn that any of the rest of us would have, but it's his old barn, interspersed with ruminative voiceover thoughts on the album, shots of him walking around, sometimes being himself, sometimes being the characters that he constantly talks about, that he invents for the purposes of his songwriting. Here's a quick clip.
Well, this song was my shot, my tribute to all of the great Jimmy Webb songs about character and place. Here we find my brother in heartbreak, a long way from home, trying to work it off, sweat it out over a long, lonely summer in a faraway town.
So there we are, music and
what
words.
What a great voice he's got.
Yeah, music and words with, interstitial drama bits of him being lonely walking down the road, or him being lonely driving a car, or him being lonely looking after a horse. It's all too much looking after horses for me. And then joined on stage by Patti Scialfa, who plays guitar and sings and is obviously part of the narrative because the story is partly autobiographical. It's also, he says, about the central dichotomy at the heart of American life, the pull between individual freedom and communal responsibility. So at one point he talks about a character who's like a fading Western star, who that's in the song, who kind of shot John Wayne, or got shot by John Wayne. And actually, weirdly enough, that put me very much in mind of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, they're obviously drinking from the same well in terms of inspiration. Musically, it's very finely performed. Obviously, I think it's recorded over a number of days, and they've taken the very best performances. I thought the film itself, it was a bit noodly and a bit navel-gazing, and there was the separation between Bruce and between the characters that Bruce is playing was kind of blurred to the point that it was a little bit like, Bruce, you're not a cowboy. I mean, God bless you. I'm sure you're lovely and all the rest of it, but you aren't actually a cowboy. And I liked it, although it didn't have the same effect on me that Neil Young Heart of Gold thing did.
Well, the fact you liked it is...
I know I liked it because
quite an achievement.
I'm not a big Bruce fan. Tell me, is Western Stars one of his better albums? Because Nebraska is the one.
Well, one of his better makes it sound as though it's a struggle, but I think it's a delightful record. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, the performances are really good, and I like the music. There is a lovely performance of Rhinestone Cowboy, which is
there's a lot of Glenn Campbell in the record.
Yeah, well, the Rhinestone Cowboy has a very big place in my heart for very personal reasons. So I liked it, and
I'm impressed.
I'm not a huge, but I still think that Heart of Gold was the more profound experience for me.